Hey guys, I'm Alan, and today I'm going to be reacting to Insider Business's video about why Steinway grand pianos are so expensive. I teach guitar and piano lessons for a living, and I've played several Steinway pianos over the years. I think the most expensive one that I played was like $170-something thousand, which is just crazy, and that was like 6 or 7 years ago. So I'm sure now they're even more than that, even just for an entry-level grand piano. Just crazy. Anyways, yeah, I've been wanting to watch this video for a while. I thought it'd be a good chance to record my reaction to it. I do have to say Steinway pianos feel and sound far superior to any other piano I've ever played. Like, the action is just so effortless. Like, they sound very rich. They're amazing pianos. So I'm excited to find out why they're so amazing and also why they're so expensive. Also, I'm trying out a new green screen. Hopefully this works out. We'll see. Here we go. Let's jump into it.
It takes about 11 months to craft just one Steinway & Sons grand piano.
Gosh.
And these instruments
11 months just to build one?
A Model D concert piano in ebony, the most affordable finish of any Steinway piano, will cost you about $187,000.
$187,000.
But that's nowhere near
this video
how
is
high
like a
prices
year old,
can
so
reach.
yeah, I mean, I guess
Steinway
maybe
has
7 years ago, around
produced
170 would be about right.
Pianos
Jeez.
in the world, worth over $2 million each. The next most expensive piano is half the price, at $1.2 million.
$2.5 million.
But
I mean,
with
that's
several
cool and all,
other
but
premium
who's gonna
pianos
buy
on
it?
the market,
I guess a
is there
billionaire.
something about Steinway's sound that stands out? And is that what makes these pianos so expensive?
Okay, here we go.
Named the Rolls-Royce of pianos by the BBC, Steinway has produced some of the most sought-after grand pianos for over 160 years. It's the piano of choice for Billy Joel, Lang Lang, and many other professional musicians.
It is pretty awesome
Compared
how
to
they're
other
all
high-end piano
handcrafted,
makers,
like, it's just nuts.
it's often Steinway's sound that sets it apart.
As a performer, I can wear many different masks depending on the piece that I'm playing. There's some pieces you want to be very, very diabolical, you know, and list, you know. And at the same time, lightness.
They're very responsive
Creating that sound
pianos.
starts here in New York, at one of only 2 Steinway factories in the world. Each grand piano is 5 to 9 feet long and weighs between 540 and 990 pounds.
It's a thick boy.
Often, the bigger the piano, the pricier it will be.
Makes sense. More materials.
About 85% of a Steinway piano is made of wood, and one of the most crucial woods is used for the soundboard.
The soundboard is the life of the instrument, the soul of the instrument. This is Alaskan Sitka spruce. This is the most expensive wood that we have in the piano, and we actually get it from the trees primarily that are on the shady side, the north-facing side of these islands. So they grow very little each year, and that means that we have growth rings that are very close together, not spaced apart.
Sitka spruce is used in other stringed instruments like guitars, and it grows in a few areas in the northwest U.S. But more than 50% of the Alaskan Sitka spruce they source won't meet Steinway standards.
Wow.
The wood must have a very specific grain density and direction, both which can impact the quality of sound. Steinway looks for closely packed, straight grains, no more than plus or minus 15 degrees off a 90-degree vertical grain. There's a reason it's so strict about this. It's partly why, when you press a key on a Steinway piano, you hear a distinctly long, sustained tone.
I guess those tight grains allows the sound to just
The
reverberate
soundboard's
without
edge
like
must
getting
attach
absorbed by the
perfectly
piano.
to the piano's rim, the
Kind of
curved
bounces
rim
off
frame
instead
of the instrument.
Going into it.
The full rim is made up of an inner and outer rim. Some piano makers attach each of these pieces separately, but at Steinway, a team of artisans bends both together.
Seems like hard work.
Steinway says this method gives the piano a stronger foundation, lowering the chances it will break. Steinway uses hard rock maple for both the inner and outer rims. The key here is to use wood that will, again, allow sound to flow freely.
Some companies, as an example, will have hard rock maple for the outside rim, but the inside rim, to save money, they'll use something like Luan. Luan is not as dense and hard as hard rock maple.
So they're not cutting any corners.
And when you have your sound waves in that soundboard, some of them are being absorbed a little bit by that Luan, more than they would be by hard rock maple.
Yep, okay, makes sense.
The consistent touch of the keys is another valuable element unique to each Steinway piano. There are just 2 artisans in the entire factory trusted with weighing off all 88 keys of every keyboard. 4
people in the world, 2 per factory?
This ensures each key is balanced.
Wow.
So a pianist won't have to use more force to press one key over another.
I used to dream about the pianos chasing me. Now it's not a problem. It's up to they the boss. I listen, you know, I pay attention to what it wants. That's the key to it, is pay attention and watch that hammer. That's the key to it.
Each key is connected to a felt hammer. When pressed, the hammer strikes the strings to create sound. A key shouldn't respond to the finger's touch too quickly or too slowly.
So she's weighing each one to like get just the right amount of pressure?
It stays. You see the hesitation? It's no good. That means it'll stay up in the piano. You see how fast that one is?
But how does she...
That's too fast.
Change
so I take this one away. Then I put this one back, and it wants the small one.
It wants the small one.
You see? So I put the small one. You see how nice it is? And that tells me what it wants.
Huh. Okay, how does she adjust it?
So that shows you the difference. Everyone is different.
Jeez.
One of the most difficult jobs is the final tone inspection. The goal is to create a balanced tone throughout the piano by slightly adjusting the hammers as needed.
From note to note, we can soften or harden these
also, I'm trying to think, like,
hammers, as we call
11 months to build one. That's just crazy.
The sound that they
the amount of hours that would have gone into that by the time it's done.
The quality of the piano's tone
like, no wonder
is
it's so
incredibly
expensive.
nuanced. Something
You're paying
only
for
an experienced
multiple
ear
people's
can decipher.
annual salary almost.
Well, if I take
That's
this
crazy.
note and then soften it, in this case I will put a needle in the hammer to soften it, then you'll hear that tone change. Comes a little bit smaller, and in increments, small steps, I can go through and find the notes that are too big, too bright, and step them down. Well, I'm 58. I started when I was 28, so that's 30 years and counting. It's still
doing that same job for 30 years.
I'm still learning how to do this. It never stops.
That's incredible. I do really respect people that just like really hone
a Rolls-Royce
one
car.
craft and stick
you can do
with it.
similarly with a Steinway piano. Depending on special additions, veneers, and wood finishes, prices for a single piece can reach $500,000, like these pianos designed for Steinway by Lenny Kravitz.
That's
in the
sweet.
piano vault underneath the factory, Steinway houses one of the most expensive pianos it's ever produced, worth $2.5 million. On average,
that's
the price
cool. I
of
like
a new
the cheaper
Steinway
ones better,
piano
though. I
increases
actually like the way the
about
cheaper ones look.
4% every year. This is partly because the
so
cost of Alaskan Sitka spruce increases at a higher rate than inflation, according to Steinway.
So they're good investments too. That's cool.
And while the new
I would like to have
pieces
a
get
Steinway
more
one day.
old
We'll
ones
see though.
become
Right now
more
my house is
valuable
too small,
too.
so it would make sense. And obviously it's way too
A
expensive
Steinway
right now.
piano
But
can last several
maybe by the
decades
time I
with the
retire, I could
required
get one.
touch-ups and
I'll probably
restorations.
get a used one. Even though I guess they're still expensive since they
A
appreciate.
1965 Steinway Model D piano is worth over $98,000 today.
Jeez.
That's more than 13 times what it likely sold for. And although there are several elements that greatly impact the price, it's the musician who ultimately decides what the piano is worth to them.
Okay. There we go. I don't want to get with a copyright strike there, so we'll stop it there. But okay, so basically it's just made out of expensive materials, takes a long time to produce, and they're very picky about like what they're using to build the thing. And I guess also you take into account like there's only 2 factories in the world, so if you wanted one, there's obviously some logistical issues there too, depending on where you live. So wow. Okay, well that tells me a little bit about them, I guess. Also, I didn't know that they appreciated in value so well, so that's interesting to learn. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.